Hello, my people, my lovelies. Good evening. I hope you're okay. If you're just coming across my channel for the first time, I urge you to please subscribe, like, comment, share, and of course, hit the notification bell. So each time I release any video, you'll be among the first to know about it, right? You're welcome. Sit down, sit down, sit down. So, why are we here today? We're here to continue to shine light on the issues that are currently going on in Nigeria as it pertains to Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduagha. I had earlier done a video on my take on what she should have done about her case of sexual harassment, how she should have complied with the rules of the Senate before she went ahead to conduct herself in the manner that she has done. Now, it is said that her constituents are trying to recall her from the Senate, meaning they've lost what? Confidence in her ability to represent them. That's what happens in Nigeria. Welcome to Nigeria. Welcome to Nigeria, where the powers that be determine your faith when you don't comply. That's it. Now, I've made videos on Senator Natasha. I'm going to link them in the description. You need to go back and watch those videos because it would help you to understand the rot, the impunity that is happening in Nigeria. And it would also help you to appreciate where I'm coming from and how it's important for you to act like the Romans when you're in Rome, because Nigeria is not a country where you can assert yourself, assert your rights, refer to chapter 4 of the Constitution to say, oh, I have a right to fair hearing, I have a right to freedom of speech and all of that. It is there in the Constitution. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not. Don't be deceived. It is not. So you have to guard yourself. You have to guard your emotions. You have to be very careful when you're dealing with powerful people in Nigeria. You just have to. Otherwise, you'll be finished. You'll be doomed for life. So, Senator Natasha, her constituency or her constituents, there was a video today of members of our constituents lining up. They came out in droves in their numbers, signing a petition, putting down their signature for Senator Natasha to be recalled. Now, this step they've taken is provided for in the Constitution, Section 69. Go and look for it. I don't want to waste your time reading it, but it's provided for in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 69, which says that a member of the Senate or House of Representatives can be recalled. So your constituents can say, we've had enough. We've lost confidence. We've had enough of you. Come home. We're done. And as soon as that process is concluded, you lose your right to represent your people. You go home, and then INEC would have to conduct another election for another person to represent the constituents. That's how it goes. But has there been a case where a recall has been successful? No. No, really. So more often than not, the constituents will have to wait for 4 years. You wait for 4 years for the tenure to be done, and then you can elect somebody else. So what am I saying? It doesn't mean it might not be successful in Senator Natasha's case. But I'm going to give you an example of Senator Dino Melaye. In 2017, Senator Dino's constituents, in quotes, started clamoring for his recall. They said they had lost confidence in him. He's not representing them, their interests and all that. They want him to go. They want somebody else. And all this was happening when Senator Dino was having problems, with the government. He was arrested by EFCC. He was jumping into the bush and all manner of, unbecoming behavior of a senator. So his people said they had had enough. And they started signing signature upon signatures upon signatures. And they got up to about 189,870 signatures for Senator Dino to be recalled. Now, the Constitution says as soon as those signatures are gathered, the petition will be submitted to INEC, and then INEC has a duty to verify those signatures. So INEC needs to check who are the individuals that have signed the signature. Are they registered voters in that constituency? Are their names in the register of voters? Are the signatures the same as what we have in the register of voters? Do they have valid voting card? So those are the things they check. And coincidentally, or fortunately for Dino, even though he was locked away, now, a week before the validation started by INEC, group of supporters came out in droves for Senator Dino. They started chanting, Senator Dino is our son. No matter what, we love him. He is our son. Aluta, hey, And the verification continued. And INEC, it would surprise you to know that when this verification was concluded, INEC only verified out of 189,870 signatures. INEC verified 18,742, which is way less than 50% of the number of signatures required for that referendum to kick in. So Senator Dino was saved on that ground. So Section B of 69 did not kick in because the signatures were not verified. So Dino was of the opinion that his recall was politically motivated because, of course, Senator Dino was having issues with his governor at the time because he wanted to contest for the governorship election as well in his state. That's politics for you. So you need to understand that. In Senator Natasha's case, I have not seen, if you've seen, show me. I've not seen where women or even her constituents have gathered so far, chanting her praise, supporting her and saying, Senator Natasha, we support you, you're for us, and all of that. I've not seen that. I've only seen people, even though they're from Akwa Ibom or whatever, carrying placards and saying, Senator Akpabio is our son, he should not be disrespected, and all of that. So I'm asking, where are Senator Natasha's supporters? Where are they? Why can't they come out and speak for Senator Natasha? That's in one side. Let's put that in one bucket. And then let's talk about the allegation of the sexual harassment. There was a recent video interview with Senator Natasha at BBC. And she went ahead to narrate the same story she narrated at Arise News, talking about how they got to Ikota Ekpene and the Senate President held her hand. This time around, she said Senate President held her hand in such a suggestive manner and then started making all those comments, which I already, described or talked about in my video. And there was also, when this news broke, the Senate President's wife made a tweet about her husband being innocent and have never harassed any woman, how he's the best governor at the time and had a lot of women represented in his cabinet and all of that. And Senator Natasha responded and said, don't even go there. I have evidence. And my question at this point is, show us the evidence. And I don't want anybody saying, you're a woman, why are you not supporting your fellow woman? I am for Senator Natasha through and through, because I do know what sexual harassment is in Nigeria. I appreciate it. And I do know in Nigeria, men do make careless statements, provocative statements, all in the name of being funny. And when you don't laugh at it, they tell you you're too uptight. You can walk into an office and a man would tell you, oh, this your butt is looking bigger than normal. You're fresh, oh. Everything is just supple. That man must be looking after you. And then they'll do what? Tap you. And if you don't laugh, they go, I'm joking with you. I'm only complimenting you. Those are the kind of crazy things that happen in Nigeria. Crazy, crazy. Inappropriate touching. Inappropriate statements. Nobody's being punished for it because as far as I'm concerned, it's business as usual. That is Nigeria for you. Unfortunately. It's Nigeria. People make all manner of stupid statements that they shouldn't make. If you were in an advanced country, you'll be punished for it. You would go down for making such a statement. But people get away with it because it's Nigeria. So my thought was, if she made all these allegations or she feels she's being sexually harassed, why don't you build up your evidence? Or if you've got it, it's time for you to go to court and supply it to the court. Because I'm only aware of a suit in court filed by Senator Natasha against the aide of the Senate President and the Senate President himself. Because the aide of the Senate President made a statement, made a publication about about Senator Natasha wearing flimsy clothes to the National Assembly, and also she thinking that the committee was her birthright, the committee she was removed from. So that's the suit that she has filed in court. She has not filed, the last time I checked, she has not filed a suit against Senator Akpoti for sexual harassment. She has filed a petition before the National Assembly to investigate her allegation, but she hasn't filed a suit in court, unfortunately. Now, the National Assembly did not investigate her petition because they said she did not comply with the rules of the National Assembly, which was the ground upon which she was suspended for 6 months without pay. There has also been news about the Senate President. The Senate does not have any right to suspend people. They may not, but they've been suspending people. They have been suspending senators. It might interest you to know that Senator Abdul Ningi, he is representing Bauchi Central, was suspended for 75 days by Senator Akpoti. He was suspended for 75 days just last year. Why was he suspended? Again, similar to Senator Natasha. He made an allegation, a press conference, and said that the Senate was what? Padding the National Assembly budget. He did say that the National Assembly approved 25 trillion as their budget, but our president signed 28.7 trillion. So he's saying the 3.7 trillion, which is on top of the 25 trillion that was approved by National Assembly, is a padded budget. Because there is no project allocated to that 3.7 trillion. Let that sink in. 3.7 trillion unaccounted for. Just a slush fund. That's what he said. And of course, when he got to the plenary, he couldn't validate his allegation. He didn't have any proof. He may have had a proof. I don't know. It could have been he knew it happened, but you can't prove it. Because the fact that I know my laptop has been stolen and I don't know who stole it, I know for a fact this laptop has been stolen, but I don't know who stole it. It was stolen from this house. There were so many people here, so I could have said, oh yeah, all of you stole my laptop. But I don't know who. So the question is, prove it. Prove that I took it. You can't. And then you do know that he who alleges must prove. So when people are asking Natasha for evidence, they're not just saying it because she's a woman. They're saying it because that is what the law expects you to do. Because if you allege that something has happened to you, you must have evidence to prove it. So this was what happened to Senator Ningi. He couldn't prove it. And of course the Senate felt embarrassed. How dare you say we padded our budget and you cannot prove it? He was suspended on that grounds. He was suspended. He went away, but fortunately for him, after 75 days, some minority leader, I think he was, who was that? It was Senator Abamoro, representing Benue South. It was him. He pleaded with the senators during plenary again and said they should, forgive Senator Ningi. He's atoned for his sins and everything. And of course, business as usual, they recalled him. And when he came back to the National Assembly, he thanked the senators and thanked the Senate president and said they should let bygones be bygones. And he continued. So a member of the National Assembly pleaded on his behalf in the plenary and he was forgiven. Now, has anybody pleaded on Senator Natasha's case? Has any senator come out to say, oh, please forgive her, blah, blah, blah? It's just a messed up case. It's better. Listen, if you're a woman, come closer. If you have interest in going into politics, sit down. It's not everything that you will scream at the top of your lungs about. Especially when you know it's such a sensitive topic. Especially when you know that if you're called upon to prove it, you may not be able to prove it beyond reasonable doubts. Because you're accusing somebody of a crime. It's a crime. It's not a civil offense. It's not a civil offense. So you must be able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that such a thing happened. So if you're not able to prove it, please fight the rot from inside. Don't let them kick you out. It is difficult to fight from outside. It's better to fight from within. Way better. You stand a better chance of winning if you're inside than outside. So don't be quick to act. Don't be quick to grant interviews. Same goes to everybody. Don't be quick to jump on social media and start making noise about things that you know you cannot prove, especially if you're in Nigeria. If you're in a civilized country where you matter, where your rights matter, where your rights are protected, you can use a loudspeaker and scream at the top of your lungs, even if your evidence is not ready, even if you've not finished gathering it. They will listen to you. The person you're accusing will recuse himself and will not be there and allow a proper investigation to take place. If you're in Nigeria and you expect that if you shout, people will listen and come to your rescue. Odumeja will say, are you a graduate? Are you a graduate? Because that's his way of saying, are you stupid? You know, are you joking? Are you having a laugh? Are you having a laugh? So don't. If you find yourself in such a position of power, you need to conduct yourself accordingly so that you'll be remembered for something, so that you can make impact, especially as a woman, so you can represent women that are striving to get to that position. So you don't make a ridicule of women and then they'll fly with that narrative of women are very emotional, they can't make any decisions, they can't do this, they can't do that, they belong in the kitchen, and all that stupid crap. Else, you stay away from the kitchen because it's really hot when you go into politics. It is. It is hot and messy and smelling and stinky and rotten in Nigeria. It is. It is. So if you're going to eat with the devil, you better come with your long spoon. Come with your long spoon so that you know when to exit. You know how to strategize so that you're not made a mess of. I do know the recall is politically motivated because I'm sure a lot of people that were lining up and putting their signatures there might not even know what they're doing because again, most of these voters, they are not intelligent. They don't understand what's going on. They just come out. They are hungry. What are you not seeing? A lot of people are hungry in Nigeria. That's why when it comes to votes, politicians come out with all manner of stuff. They bring indomie, they bring rice, they bring oil, and people will collect it and vote for them. So they want to impoverish people and put them in poverty so that they can use them. Because if you're hungry and somebody offers you 10 naira, 20 naira, 1,000, you want to fill your belly first before you think of the future. Because when people on the social media go, oh, you've sold your future for the next 4 years, you've sold it for 5,000, excuse you, I've not eaten, I've not had food, my children are hungry, I need to feed them first today and be sure that I'm alive today before I can think of 4 years. So that is what they're using. They give them money and they vote. Even when you come out to vote, INEC would rig us all out and announce a different result. So what I'm trying to say is, we should all be what? Careful. In our utterances, social media will not save you. There is no court in social media. All we do is watch and listen and judge. We judge. There's nothing like listening. We judge. That's what we do. But the only difference is the judgment we've delivered will not hold water. It will not save you. But we say, yes, we stand for you. Go on, go on, go on. They won't save you when the chips are down. So do the right thing. Follow the due process, even though the due process might not even be due. The process might not be processing, but just follow the due process. If you're in any organization and there are rules of engagement, follow it through and through. If you're being sexually abused, sexually harassed anywhere, please gather your evidence. Gather your evidence. Make sure it is tight so that when you break it out to the world, we'll see how much of a beast the individual is. We don't want to be making speculations. We don't want people to be thinking, oh, is it because you're beautiful? Is it because are you the most beautiful person in the world? Are you the only woman in the Senate? Because I don't think she made all that up. But the only reason why everybody's losing faith is because she hasn't provided any evidence. It's still the same story of somebody holding hands, somebody talking to her. I haven't heard her say she was held, cuddled or something, or forced down, or, is all these innuendos being thrown at her, which in Nigeria, as I mentioned earlier, people do throw all manner. Go to the markets. Go to the market in Nigeria. Those market boys. I grew up in Anambra State. Go to main market Onitsha. They will drag you. They will touch you inappropriately. And then if you say, don't touch me, ha! They will finish you. Anshawa, look at you. I'm only trying to help you. Look at how ugly you are. I'm trying to marry you. I have your mate at home. Old cargo. They will insult the living daylight out of you. Welcome to Nigeria. Welcome to Nigeria. That's Nigeria for you. That's Nigeria for you. So, I would end the video here. You let me know what you think. What could you have done differently if you were Natasha? What can you do now to remedy the situation? Would you tender an apology to the Senate and tell them, I'm sorry I broke the rules of the Senate, or start to curry favor from other senators that may like you and see if they will plead on your behalf and see if you would let it go and then come back and re-strategize and represent your people. Because the more you're out there not representing your people would get agitated because there are certain benefits they get by having you there. You're not able to deliver those benefits to them. They will fall prey to them telling you, oh, she's not coming back. Do the recall. You guys should get somebody else that represents you appropriately. And they will fall for it. Because it means they're not going to get anything from the government for another 6 months while you're away. So think about it and let me know what you'll do. I love you guys. If you're still here, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share, and I'll see you soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.